The stars are right, and that means it's time for another episode of The Whisper in Darkness. I'm your host, the manfromleng. Thank you very much for joining me today. On this episode, we are returning to our campaign through the Dream Eaters with part 3B. This is Point of No Return. We are playing through the B-side with Patrice Hathaway. We just wrapped up 3A, Dark Side of the Moon with Luke Robinson, and things went very well. Picked up 8 experience points, a few more Signs of the Gods or Evidence of Kadath, and so now it is Patrice's turn. She is tackling at Point of No Return. This is actually a blind playthrough, believe it or not. I have not had a chance to play this scenario yet, and so I'm going into this totally blind. I don't know a whole lot about this scenario, to be perfectly honest. And so this should be an exciting playthrough. I am looking forward to bringing it to you today. Just a couple of things about the channel. I should have the preview of the next Mythos pack in the Innsmouth Conspiracy cycle, the Lair of Dagon, up probably early this coming week. We will be taking a look at both the scenario itself and the player cards, more playing around with the Blessed and Cursed mechanics, and I will have a spoiler for the upcoming Mythos pack, Horror in High Gear, that will be released in January. I hope to bring you that this week as well. So lots to come here on the channel, and I hope that you will stay tuned for that. Before I get started, I'd like to thank the patrons of this channel for their tremendous support. The Arkham Horror LCG community is amazing, and these people have gone above and beyond to bring you content like these playthroughs. If you'd like to support the channel's goals and see your name on this list, head over to patreon.com, sign up for a tier of your choice, and claim your rewards. That would be awesome. Without further ado, let's get started. Patrice had a bit of a rough go in, I believe it was the Waking Nightmare scenario 1B of this campaign. I believe we ended up taking a physical trauma or a mental trauma, one of the two, and we have not earned very many experience points. We have really struggled in the experience point department. We did earn enough to, we have earned enough to pick up Cornered 2, and we have 3 experience points left over. I think I was planning on picking up, maybe upgrading Peter Sylvester when we get the chance. But yeah, we've really struggled earning experience points in this particular campaign. They seem to just pour the experience points on you in the A side, but here it's been a little more difficult. So this is a deck built that was built by Black Horror over on Arkham DP. It's the Desperate Violinist build, so basically using arcane research to take some mental trauma at the beginning of the game, so then you can turn on your desperate skills once you get your St. Hubert's key down, and then just power through tests with all those juicy 4 icon cards. We added the silver key, which was we picked that up in the last scenario, 1,000 Shapes of Horror. And we also purchased a second copy of Cornered. As you may remember, Cornered was huge in that scenario. Absolutely got us through that scenario almost by itself. And as long as we can get a copy of Cornered down, I think we'll be in very good shape. And we removed 1 copy of Winging It. So for investigation, we are going to be relying on our Sixth Sense and Cornered to power us through. And we shall see how things go. Here is a look at the campaign so far. We convinced Dr. Mahaswaran to stay with the patients and keep them safe. While Patrice investigated, Dr. Mahaswaran stayed with the patients. We suffered a physical trauma. We added 4 steps to the 4 steps of the bridge, which does impact the scenario, I found out. We had to add a damage to the scenario card at the beginning, so we'll find out what that does. We don't know what Dr. Maheswaran's fate is. Randolph escaped the hospital on his own. The Black Cat is at our side. We recovered a strange key. Randolph survived the descent, which is important. We will be using a different act, 1A, as a result of that. Our body now walks within the slumbering dreamland, so we added a skull token to the chaos bag, and we requested aid from the others. So the Black Cat is on Patrice's side, so hopefully that will make things a little bit easier for us, owing to that extra trauma that we took. We should be set up here and ready to go in Octagon. Let us take a look at what this scenario has to offer. All of the locations begin in play face up because they have story text on the back. Many of them have the veiled keyword, which means once you discover all of the clues on that location, you get to take a free trigger, use a free triggered ability to flip that location over and read the story text. Patrice is beginning the game at the Vaults of Zin. 3 shroud location, 1 clue, and it is veiled. Victory 1. We also have the City of the Gugs. 2 shroud location, 1 clue. Forced after you enter City of the Gugs, flip it over and resolve the text on the other side. It's also worth a victory point. We have the Tower of Koth. 5 shroud, 0 clues. But we need to take an action and test 5 combat to lift the heavy stone trapdoor at the top of the tower. If you succeed, flip this card over and resolve the text on the other side. That is going to be a very difficult for Patrice to do, considering we only have 2 combat. Maybe if we use a relentless assault and a cornered, maybe we can do it. We could get up to 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we could do pretty well. And we've got the Plane of the Ghouls, 4 shroud location, 1 clue, veiled. Gug enemies cannot enter the Plane of the Ghouls. If a Gug enemy would spawn at the Plane of the Ghouls, spawn it at the City of the Gugs instead, or City of Gugs. There's no the in there, and it is also worth a victory point. Agenda 1A is a sinister realm. The underworld is a cavernous realm, almost another world unto itself. Its ceiling is so far in the distance that it might as well be a somber, overcast sky. The walls of the caverns are dimly lit by a flickering gray light with no apparent source. You wander through the twisting catacombs in search of a way forward, but you can't shake the feeling that you're being followed. Doom threshold of 5. And Act 1A is entering the Underworld version 2 because Randolph survived the descent. You have succeeded in reaching the Dreamlands, but this is not quite what you expected. You are in the Underworld, and it will take some work for you to find your bearings in this sinister place. It has the forced effect: after an enemy with 1 or more clues on it is defeated, take control of each of those clues. And our objective is to find Richard Upton Pickman. You will be instructed when to advance. The famous artist from Arkham is our goal. So we will have to track him down. Point of no return, we're playing it on standard difficulty, of course. The skulls are -X, where X is the amount of damage on this card. So -1. I think there's only 1 skull in the bag, so that's okay. The cultist is reveal another token, and if you fail after this skill test ends, draw the top card of the encounter deck. The tablet is a +1. The Black Cat helps you navigate through the Deathfire. If this token is revealed during an investigation and you succeed, draw 1 card. And the Elder Thing is a -3, and if you fail by 2 or more, choose a ready enemy at your location or a connecting location. That enemy moves to your location, engages you, and makes an immediate attack. So that's the bad one. So we are getting some help from the cat with the +1 token for the tablet. I believe there are 3 tablets in the bag, so that is for a total of 4 +1s. We will need those, I think, to get us through this scenario. Let me think here. Patrice's weakness is internal injury, and of course we've got the Watcher from the another dimension. So let's draw our opening hand and see how we do. Shuffle things up and draw our opening hand of 5 cards. Of course, Patrice does have her hand size is reduced by 3, and then we have to constantly churn through our cards. Nice, we get a cornered right off the bat and a Peter Sylvester. Wow, that is a pretty sweet opening hand. I think we, since we're gonna lose it, I don't know. Do we keep Peter? We definitely want to keep the cornered. I'm just wondering if we keep Peter, whether we... Because if we draw the St. Hubert's Key, that's a 4. Well, we're going to do it. We're going to see what happens here. We get the Silver Key. We get another copy of Peter. And we get a Fearless. Okay, so 2 copies of Peter. So we're definitely going to play Peter and cornered on turn 1. The Silver Key, what does it do? Key to the Gate of Dreams. When you would take 1 horror, or take horror, exhaust the Silver Key, cancel 1 of that horror. I don't know. I kind of like... Peter basically does the same thing. We can dump horror on Peter and then he can heal it. I don't know. That's... When you would take a horror, exhaust the key to cancel 1 of that horror, or we can keep Peter. I don't know. I think I'm going to keep Peter. We get the +1 agility with him too, which I think is... slightly better than the key. The key also has a couple of wild skill icons, so maybe we can use those to investigate. So, I think we're ready to go. Let's use our first action to play cornered. Then we're going to use our second action to play Peter. I threw 1 too many resources away there. We need a physical trauma because we took 1 at the beginning. Now we have cornered. We can discard a card to get +2 skill value, and we can... So let's investigate. We are going 2 versus 3, but we can commit the Silver Key for 2, and then we can pitch the other Peter for 2 more with cornered. So that gives us 4. So we go up to 6 versus 3. Chaos Bag says tablet. That is a +1. The Black Cat helps you navigate through the Deathfire. If this token is revealed during an investigation and you succeed, we draw a card. So we get to say your prayers, but that's not going to be overly helpful at the moment because we need to get we need to take some more horror before we can turn that on. So we used all of our actions. We gained this clue. We can take a free triggered ability to flip over the Vaults of Zin. Search the encounter deck and discard pile. Or I should read this whole thing. Ghastly tunnels. Hisses and uncanny voices pursue you throughout this web of darkened intersecting tunnels. You believe the myriad paths might lead all the way to the surface of the Dreamlands, considering the vastness of this network of caverns. It's a wonder you can even find your way back to where you started. However, you are not alone when you emerge. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for a gassed enemy and spawn it here exhausted and with 1 clue on it. Shuffle the encounter deck. Okay, so we find a ghast. That may not have been the best idea. But this is a blind playthrough, so who knows? Let me see here. Counter deck or discard pile for ghast. What do we have? What are our choices for ghasts? We've got... we've got the hunting ghast. That is one type of ghast. Do we have any other ghasts? Doesn't look like it. Got a gug, a bunch of ghouls. So I guess we're taking a hunting ghast. It is a hunter, 2 fight, 2 health, 3 evade. Humanoid monster ghast. Hunter, most damage forced after hunting ghast enters a location with a gug enemy. Ready each gug enemy at its location and deal 1 damage to the hunting ghast. So this guy spawns up here exhausted. And it has a clue. Okay. And we shuffle the encounter deck. So what does this mean? Forced, after an enemy with 1 or more clues on it is defeated, you can take control of each of those clues. So if we can defeat the ghast, we get the clues. But we do not have a way of defeating said ghast very easily. I guess we can go 4-2 with cornered once. Or no, we can use that as many times each skill test. So as long as we get stuff we can pitch, we can kill this ghast. And that's going to be our turn. So we go to upkeep. We draw a... So we lose these, and we gain a bunch more cards. There's a prophecy, a mists, and another cornered. Wow. I don't think we need the other cornered. I guess we could get the other cornered just so we can discard 2 cards apiece. That might actually be pretty good. So we want to, well, I don't think we're going to be able to play that all that easily, considering we are now engaged with this ghast. All right, so what do we have? We got cornered, unexpected courage, say your prayers, prophecy, and mists. Mists is really good for Patrice. But so is cornered. But we only have 1 resource. So we're kind of... And we want to save those... We kind of want to save resources for the St. Hubert's Key. So maybe we pass on playing stuff this turn. 1 Doom of 5. Our first encounter card is going to be Grasping Hands. Test 3 agility. For each point you fail by, take a damage. Our agility is 3. So we're going 3-3. We might as well commit some stuff. We can commit... I guess we can commit the prophecy. Four, 3 mists for 5-3. That's a chaos bag. All right, I guess we can commit. We can use. I'm doing this wrong. We can play. We can use miss and then use cornered actually to go. I'm having a brain fart here. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 versus 3. And we get a cultist. That's reveal another token. And if we fail, we have to... So we'll draw an additional token and we get the -3. So we just succeed 6v3 and we don't have to draw another encounter card. So good on us there. Okay, well, we passed. Now we need to kill this ghast. We can go first attack. We are at 2v2. We'll go 4v2 with cornered. We get a tablet. That's a +1. So the Ghast takes a damage. Let's do that again. We'll just commit. We're not going to be able to play the cornered this turn, so we might as well commit it. So we'll commit the Unexpected Courage, and we'll use cornered to add 2 to cornered to go 2, 4, 6 v2. We get a -1. So the Ghast is dead. We gain this clue as a result of the game text on after an enemy with 1 or more clues is defeated. We take control of those clues. So the Ghast is dead, and we can move. Let's move to... Oh, this added a clue for some reason. We will move to the City of the Gugs, I guess. We can move there, or the Plain of Ghouls. I feel like going to the Plain of Ghouls is a better idea. Because Pikmin was a ghoul. Right? Pikmin was a ghoul. So let's go to the City of the Plains of the Ghouls here. So we go Vaults of Zin, matches to the Plains of the Ghouls, which matches to the City of the Gugs, which matches to the Tower of... Okay, so again, 4 Shroud location, 1 clue. And Gug enemies can't spawn here. That is our turn. So we get another Unexpected Courage, a Defiance, our Internal Injury, our Last Chance, and a Reckless Assault. So our Internal Injury enters play. Put Internal Injury into play in your threat area. At the end of your turn, take a direct damage. So we're going to be spending a couple actions to get rid of that. And then I guess we're going to try to investigate. All right. Turn 3. Encounter card. 2 of 5 Doom. Encounter card is going to be Ancient Evils. So that's easy enough. 3 of 5 now. We spend, for I guess, first 2 actions. We'll just get rid of our Internal Injury. We don't want to take any more damage than we have to. And then we might as well do some investigating. We can commit the Unexpected Courage, and we can use this to go I guess we could use the Defiance to knock out the... What are we at? 2, 3, 4... 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 v4, and we're going to call with Defiance, we'll call the Elder Thing. We get a tablet, we get another +1. Black Cat helps us navigate through the Deathfire. We were investigating, we draw a card. We get a Perception. Okay, well that would have helped. So we grab this clue. That was our last action. So let us use our free triggered ability to flip the ghouls over. If the investigators possess fewer than 3 clues, we do not. We have 3 clues. If the investigators possess at least 3 clues, having spent considerable time exploring the upper layer, you understand the ghouls' nature a bit more. They are more welcoming than their kin have been in the past, speaking to you in grunting monosyllabic English. As you consider your options, you approach by one of their kind who still wears human clothing. Unlike the rest, he is able to communicate with you perfectly. With an air of authority and wisdom about him, he demands to know why you have come to this place. The investigators must spin 3 clues as a group, advance the current act. Sweet. So we advance. We found Pikmin already. An unlikely ally. Randolph gives a shout of recognition as the ghoul approaches. He and the creature shake hands and converse for a short while, after which he introduces you. This is the ghoul I spoke to you about. He is an old friend of mine, and he has offered to guide us through the underworld. He has some dire news, however. Randolph goes on to explain, strange happenings have been occurring within the underworld. He tells of dark forces spreading throughout the Vale below the plains of the ghouls, of vile weavers that crawl along the cavern walls, and of a terrible howling cry that penetrates throughout the realm. All of it, he says, emanates from one place, an ocean of pitch in the realm's deepest lair. Choose an investigator to take control of the set-aside Richard Upman Pikmin story asset. Well, that's easy enough to do. Let us go find our buddy Richard Upman Pikmin. Sweet. We'll just leave that up for now. For the remainder of the scenario, if you leave play, remain from the game, put each set-aside Vale location into play. Okay, there's a Vale. Sea of Bones is a Vale. Peaks of Thok is a Vale. Vale of Nath is a Vale. I believe that's all the Vales. Ooh, Night Gaunts. I don't want to fight those. What else we have in here? Any more Vales to worry about? No, we're good. Okay. We put them into play. Put each set-aside Vale location into play. Okay, so we flip this card back over. What are the Vales listed as? Hash marks. Let's see here. We've got Crag of the Ghouls is connected to the Plains of the Ghouls. Okay. The Crag of the Ghouls is connected to the Plain of the Ghouls and the Sea of Bones and the Vale of Pnath. So put those there. And the Peaks of Thok. What are they? That's the Star. Sea of Bones and Vale of Pnath are connected to that. All right. Do we even have to go to the City of the Gugs? I hope not. I'm not planning on it if I don't have to. Why would I go there? Find each set-aside card from the Striking Fear encounter set. Remove them from the game. Oh, I don't mind that. Striking Fear, gone. Goodbye. No rotting remains to deal with this game. Or Frozen in Fear. So those are gone. Any more? One more of those. So all these go away. What else happens? Shuffle the set-aside Terror of the Vale and Night Gaunts encounter set into the encounter deck along with the discard pile. Well, that's no good. That is not what I want. I don't want the Night Gaunts. So we get all these Night Gaunt cards, and which is the Terror of the... I need to look and see what counter set this is. Point of no return. Creature of the underworld. Whispers of Hypnos. So Descent into the Pitch. Terror the Veil is the Doles. Okay. Doles. We need the Doles. Okay, so that's these guys here. So these guys go in. The Gug Sentinel. Ooh. I don't like the looks of him. So these all go into the encounter deck and with these. Okay. So we took control of Pikmin. We put the Veil locations into play. We removed the Striking Fear encounter set, and we shuffled the other ones in. All right, the Descent. Act 2A. The way to the Veil below is treacherous. You will have to climb down from a place Pikmin calls the Crag of the Ghouls, where the creatures cast the discarded remains of their macabre meals. You can only imagine what the depths might be like. After an enemy with clues is defeated, we take the clue. Find the way to the Sea of Pitch. You will be instructed when to advance. So it looks like we get to skip. Well, we can sort of avoid the City of the Gugs. For the time being, I expect the city to come into play later. What does Pikmin do? Pikmin, we can exhaust him to choose a ghoul enemy at your location and attach it to him face down. We can take an action and exhaust Richard Upman Pikmin to fight. You attack with a base combat of 5. Instead of the standard damage, this attack deals damage equal to the number of face down encounter. So you assemble a ghoul army. Cool. So you stack ghouls under Pikmin, you attack with a combat bonus of 5, and you sick all the ghouls on him. That is funny. I like that. That's very funny. All right. So we've got a ghoul. Now we need to assemble our ghoul army. We might as well dump all these over here. We don't need them anymore. And that was our turn. And he's got 3 health too, which is pretty sweet. So we're losing Last Chance and Perception, unfortunately. And we're gaining 5 cards. We get a Ward of Protection. We get the Watcher from Another Dimension. We add this to your hand. We may fight this enemy while it is in your hand. When your deck runs out of cards, this attacks you. Okay. 3. Doesn't he reduce my hand size too? You may fight or evade this enemy while it's in your hand. No. Okay. Okay. Maybe we can have we can amass a huge army of ghouls, and the ghouls can take out the Watcher for us. Seems unlikely. So we've got the Watcher. We got a Ward of Protection, so that's pretty good. We've got an Impromptu Barrier. And an Improvised Barrier, which we just want to put in our discard pile as quickly as we can. All right, well, we go on to... no. That should not have been drawn. I'm going to shuffle that back in. For some reason, that was drawn. Oh, he just takes... Oh, that's right. He takes up a spot in my hand, so I only get 4 cards now. 3 of 5 Doom. Encounter card is going to be a Hunting Night Gaunt, of course. Okay. Man, killing that thing is going to be a pain in the butt. So maybe we evade it. Chosen enemy gets -1 evade. So if we play impromptu barrier, we can give it -1 evade for this evasion attempt. If you play it from your discard pile, you may evade an additional enemy at the same location with evade X or lower. X is the amount you succeed by. So what we can do is, man, that's like 4. I just want to be ready for when the St. Hubert's Key comes out. Not sure it's worth. We're 3 versus 1. We could commit. We've only got 1 card that we can commit. We double the negative modifier on the token. I think I'm just going to commit the, I'm just going to use Cornered to put the improvised barrier into my discard pile. I don't want to spend the resource because if we draw St. Hubert's Key, I want to be able to use it. So we're going 5v1. Chaos Bag gives us a skull. That's a -1. So it's a -2. So we're okay. So we evade the ghoul. Or sorry, the Night Gaunt. Sorry. That was our first action. Second action, we can move to the Crag of Ghouls, can we not? Let's go there. And the first treachery drawn during the Mythos phase by an investigator at this location gains surge. I don't like that. Oh, there are 2 clues here too. Oh, shoot. Play a perception. 2 for cornered in an improvised weapon for 6. 6v3. Ow! Draw -4. Damn it. Well, we don't draw a card for perception. It just slows us down, that's all. I guess I should have committed the Ward of Protection too. That was my mistake. I'm not going to take that one back because I should have just done it because I'm going to lose it anyway. That was stupid of me. All right, well, we fail a skill test. So we are going to go... to the enemy phase. We're going to discard that. We go to upkeep. There's that's St. Hubert's Key there. 2, 3, 4. We drew both St. Hubert's Keys. Holy, I'm glad we have 4 resources. And we've got a deny and an overpower. Okay, that's pretty good. We go to turn 5. Oh, we're advancing. That's not great. Shuffle the encounter. So to the path of darkness, the sudden wave of pain and nausea passes over you, and for a brief moment it seems the very fabric of reality is tearing apart. The feeling passes quickly, but it's obvious that something is not quite right. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Place 1 damage on the scenario reference card. So skulls are -2s now. did that. Beset by monsters. As you continue to explore, the creatures of the underworld grow agitated and begin to pursue you as if compelled by some unseen force. Hint, the game will not necessarily end when the agenda advances, but the stability of reality will continue to unravel. Alright, and our encounter card is a Dole Tunnel. If Slithering Dole is in play, it moves and attacks as if it were the enemy phase. Otherwise, attach Dole Tunnel to a location at least 2 connections away from the nearest Dole Tunnel or to your location if you cannot. Then, if Slithering Dole is in the victory display, spawn it at the attached location. Exhausted. So, okay. All right. So we need to grab these 2 clues and then move. And we're not going to be able to do that. Okay, but we're going to play our St. Hubert's Key. That is the important thing as our first action. So we get another willpower and another intellect. And we have another of those from him and -2 sanity. So we're at 5. We are at 3 now. So we have turned on our desperate skills. And so we want to investigate twice here. We want to save the deny existence for the attack we're going to take from this hunting night gaunt. God, that thing is a pain. I've got an improvised weapon in my discard pile. But I just don't have a way to damage it. So let's commit the overpower, or we'll use cornered on the overpower to go 2. So we're 3, 4, 5 V3. 5 V3. Chaos Bag says tablet. That's a +1. And we get to draw a card because that was an investigation. We get our violin. Okay, we get a clue. We have 1 action remaining. We will commit. We're going to lose the violin, so we might as well pitch it. So we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 V3. Chaos Bag says -3. We succeed. So we grab that other clue and we're stuck. It is veiled though, so we can flip it. Scouting the Vale. Looking out over the barren vale, you get a sense for the threat that dwell below. Underneath the plateau upon which you stand, a forest of obscene pale fungi extends for miles. Beyond that is a great heap of bones, like an ocean pouring forth in all directions. You swear that you can see something crawling or worming its way along the surface of the bones, but perhaps it's just your imagination. In the distance, the great sharp peaks of stone looming over the vale. Black winged creatures fly around the summits searching for prey. You see no sign of this ocean of pitch Pickman described, though you do notice a wild cavern opening along a wall of stone to the right of the vale below. Look at the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. You may discard up to half of those cards. Return the rest to the top of the encounter deck in any order. For the remainder of the game, ignore the text on Crag of Ghouls. Oh, we forgot. Oh, man, we forgot that game text. Okay, so yeah, first treachery drawn during the encounter mythos phase by an investigator at this location gains surge. Okay, so we had to surge that. Okay, and that surged into another Dole tunnel. Did we shuffle that deck? Why do I feel like we didn't? No, we didn't. Okay, that kind of changes things. No, we did. Weird. It just happened to draw two of them. Okay. Well, we'll shuffle it up again because I looked. But, so we drew. Okay, so Slithering Dole isn't in play. Otherwise, attach Dole Tunnel to a location at least 2 connections away from the nearest Dole Tunnel or to your Dole. Then if Slithering Dole is in the victory, say spawn. Okay, so this one goes 2 connections away. So we can put it back here. Crag of Ghouls is connected to the Plane of Ghouls, which is connected to the Vault of Zin. So we can put this up here. Okay, so that didn't actually affect the game. Fortunately, I forgot about that stupid game text, but it didn't affect, so we're fine. All right. We do get. Now we can look at the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. We can discard up to half of them and return the rest to the top of the encounter deck in any order. So we see a Whispers of Hypnos and a Grasping Hands. So we'll discard the Grasping Hands. We'll put the Whispers of Hypnos back on top because it basically does nothing in solo. Okay, so that's that. Now we can go to the enemy phase. And we get attacked by the Night Gaunt. We will deny existence the attack. So we will take. We'll deny the damage and take the horror because Pete can take the horror for us, and then we can heal it. All right. So we know we're drawing a Whispers of Hypnos next turn. All right, upkeep. We get a Desperate Search, a Run for Your Life, a Last Chance, and another Run for Your Life. Wow. So we can use a Run for Our Life on this thing. We have 7 minus 2 is 5 is 3. We have 3 or fewer remaining, so we can use our Run for the Life on this evasion attempt next turn. Okay. 1 of 4 Doom. Encounter card is the Whispers of Hypnos. Choose a skill. Combat, we get -2 for the remainder of the turn. Let us play our Run for Our Life. So we are at 3, 7v1. And we might as well discard this card to go 8v1, 7, 8, 9v1. Chaos Bag says tablet. Man, oh man, the tablets are just +1ing us all the way. So we pass by a lot. So we evade this guy. That was our first action. We do get to, we drew the Whispers of Hypnos, but we get to, for the remainder of the game, ignore the text on Crag of Ghouls. We don't have to do that stupid double treachery surge thing again. Okay, so our choice is the Sea of Bones or the Vale of Pnath. Sea of Bones is forced. After you discover one or more clues at the Sea of Bones, we flip it, and it's fairly easy to discover clues there. Or we go to the Veil. While there are clues remaining on Veil, investigators at the Veil cannot play cards or commit cards to skill tests. That's kind of tough. We cannot play cards or commit cards to skill tests, but we can discard cards from our hand. So the Veil is veiled. We'd be going 3, 4, 5 v4. Wow, that's tough. That is tough, tough, tough to deal with. I feel like the veiled keyword, though, is... okay, let's go to the Veil of Panath. We can't commit cards to skill tests, but we can still discard a card to Desperate Search. So we're going to go 3, 4, 5 v4. Chaos Bet gives us a -1. Okay, well, we grab this clue. That was close. And now it's veiled, so we can flip it over. We have 3 clues. If the investigators possess fewer than 3 clues, we do... that is fine. If the investigators possess at least 3 clues, you venture out into the dark veil and attempt to map your surroundings. With the knowledge you have accumulated, you know that the source of the disturbance within the underworld cannot be in this region. There must be another pathway, perhaps a cavern or tunnel that leads from the veil to a place even deeper beneath the surface of the Dreamlands. As you approach the great stone wall at the far end of the veil, you pick up a foul scent like sulfur and tar. You follow the stench until it leads you to a wide hole in the wall. The investigators must spend 3 clues as a group to advance to the current... Okay. We are getting so lucky. It's unbelievable. We found... I mean, I sort of knew that Pikmin might be at the Plane of Ghouls, since he's a ghoul, but I had no idea this was the way out. So we get... the investigators must spend 3 clues as a group to advance, and we have 3 clues, so let's do that. We advance the current act and then advance. So a way across, Act 2B. The hole becomes narrower and narrower as you make your way through the other side of the stone wall. When you finally emerge, you find yourself at the shores of an enormous ocean of pitch-black tar. Webs of glowing violent energy spread across its surface, filling you with an uneasy dread. Could this be related to the horrors you witnessed in St. Mary's Hospital? Just as you were beginning to wonder what to do next, you discover several rowboats of black wood moored in a nearby cove. The hull of each is carved with a strange insignia. Is this luck or providence? Either way, you are determined to set off across the sea and trace this madness to its source. Put each set-aside depths location into play. Shuffle the set-aside Descent into the Pitch and Agents of Atlaknacha encounter set into the encounter deck along with the discard pile. Man, we've gotten a bit lucky, I have to say. We found the thing we needed. We did a difficult skill test and managed to get that. So we have the Sea of Pitch. Man, there's a lot of locations in this game. Sea of Pitch, Sea of Pitch, Sea of Pitch. We've got the Pitch Spider. That's got to be bad. Pitch Spider. Shadows of Adlaknacha. I assume. Oh, that's the, yeah, that's part of the pitch set. And then we've got these guys as well. Okay, well, all of these go into the encounter deck. And along with the discard pile. Okay. Big encounter deck, 35 cards. That bodes well. Put each set aside depths location into play. So let's move. We're going to have to make some space here. So we'll do that. And then we'll do... Just move this down a little, like so. This guy is here. That is there, and that is there. And then these... I'm just going to stick these in here for a second, shuffle them up, just in case they were in some sort of order. And then the Sea of Pitch locations are here. And I assume they are connected to the Veil. We flip this back over. The plus sign. Yeah, so this is connected to these. Okay. And they're all veiled. One clue apiece. Okay. I think we've done everything we need to do. We've put the depths into play. We've shuffled the descent and the pitch and agents in. And the discard pile. All right. Are we nearing... Are we... Okay, the Black Expanse. Act 3A. How many acts are there? 4? No, that's it. Okay, so we just need to do that. Find the source of the distortion. You will be instructed when to advance. So the Black Expanse, as you traverse the tar-like sea of pitch, you begin to discern patterns in the unearthly web that glows below its surface. After an enemy with one or more clues is defeated, yada, yada, yada. Find the source of the distortion. You'll be instructed when to advance. So it's one of these 4 locations. That is what we want to do. And that is our turn. So we go to... so we discard Last Chance. Peter heals. Don't forget that. We get a Desperate Search, a Relentless Assault, and a Manual Dexterity. Okay. And that's all she wrote. Okay. I need my ghoul army to kill this hunting night gaunt. Mythos phase. This thing is gone. All right. We draw a Pitch Spider. Any 2 fight, 1 health, 4 evade. Monster Spider. Any Sea of Pitch location, empty if able. Swarming X. X is the amount of damage on the scenario reference card. When Pitch Spider attacks you, it deals either its damage or its horror instead of both. So this goes, let's just put him here. And he gets 2 swarms. Okay. They're pretty weak, though. And he doesn't hunt. Okay. But yeah, 3 damage or horror is not something we want to have to deal with. And they're tough to evade. All right. Let's get in a boat and go for a row, shall we? We'll just move to the first one. Two shroud location with 1 clue. We can commit. I feel like we may want to play the mists. Yeah, let's grab this. Let's grab this clue first. We can play it because we have 5, and then we got 2, so we got 3 remaining sanity. Desperate Search, so we're 3 plus 4 is 7 v2. Chaos Bag gives us a -1, so we succeed. So we grab this clue. And we have 1 action remaining. We'd have 5. 6, 7 v4 if we're trying to evade that thing. I think we play the mists. How are we doing on cards? We have 9 cards left. So we're not quite... What we need to draw is an Elder Sign to reshuffle. But we haven't done that yet. Okay, we've got... That was our action. Now we can veil this thing. Let's take a peek. If the investigators possess fewer than 3 clues, we do not. Try as you might, you cannot find the way. Okay, so we just need to grab 2 more clues. Maybe this is the center of the sea. So if we find 2 more clues, we can win, I think. Okay, so we know this is the one. We know this is the one. We just need to go move, move, move back, and we're good. Okay, well, enemy phase, the Hunting Night Gaunt goes to the Veil. He's going to be an annoying. Okay. That might have been an ideal. I tried to kill the Watcher once and he spawned on me and it ruined the game. So I'm just going to sit with him in my hand. We'll lose the Manual Dexterity and the Relentless. And then we'll go to the... So we get a 6th Sense. We get a deny, we get a fearless, we get a sixth sense. You know, honestly, I don't think we... Sixth sense is awesome. But since we've got cornered, we can basically pitch stuff. We don't need to heal. All right. Upkeep phase, turn 8. Well, we advance. Look at that, eh? Ancient Evils advances us. The Weaver approaches. Again, you are shaken by a sudden feeling of instability as reality shifts and bends around you. The wave is more intense than before, and it seems to originate from the sea of pitch in the depths of the underworld. Each investigator must either discard 1 card at random from their hand or lose 2 resources. Okay, I'll discard a card at random at my hand. And I discard the Watcher. Ha ha! Sucker. I believe I'm fairly certain that the random discard can target the Watcher, but I'm just going to check just to make sure. But I'm pretty certain that Arkham Horror random discard weakness. You are only allowed to discard a weakness if it's hit by a random discard. Well, look at that. Sweet deal. Sorry, Watcher. You got bounced. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Sure. So the Ancient Evils goes back in. Place 1 damage on the scenario card. There are now 3. If there are 5 damage, we get our 2. Otherwise, we flip the agenda back over. So we have 4. Okay, so we just need to grab 2 clues and head back to this location. And because that was an Ancient Evils, we drew... Now these are 3s now, which is annoying, but passable. Okay, so we move. The Veiled, just thinking here, Veiled only triggers once, right? Once a location has been flipped over and its story text has been read, it cannot be flipped over again for the remainder of the game unless otherwise noted. So, how does that work? I just need to flip that back over and read it. This card may be flipped over again when you're ready. Okay, well that solves that issue. Okay, so we move. Now we can investigate. We are at 3v3. We will commit a Sixth Sense and we will commit a Fearless. We will commit the Fearless using, we'll discard the Fearless using Cornered. So we're going to go 3, 4, 5, 6 V3. Chaos Bag gives us a +1. So we grab this clue. And then we move again. And the Hunting Night Gaunt attacks us. We will deny the damage and just take the horror on Peter. So basically, evade, discover clue, move, flip, win. So we win the game next turn if we can do all that without being interrupted. So we're gonna take a horror because we're gonna draw out our hand here. So that is done. The guy attacked us. We draw the Guts, Overpower, Prophecy, Improvised Weapon, and Defiance. We shuffle all back into our deck and we take a horror on ourselves because we can. Okay. We didn't get anything good to evade with, unfortunately. And Prophecy is not going to really help us. We can Defiance. But we don't have anything really good for... well, we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like, evading that guy is not hard. Evading the Hunting Night Gaunt is not hard. It's just how much do we want to commit to it is the deal. All right, well, we need to go to Mythos. 1 of 4 and an Ancient Evils. Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, let's speed up the game. All right, so it's our turn. We will spend an action. We are going... we will use Mists of Rillier. No. Okay, so here's the plan. We take an attack of opportunity to investigate. Then we mists, because if we pass, we get to move. Well, either way it works. I mean, either way it's fine. But that could be that would be an option if we were 1 action shy. Like, we've got 3 actions, that's all we need to win. But if we only had 2, we could investigate, take the attack of opportunity, grab the clue, use mists. If we succeed, we get to move, and then we would resign. So we've got options. Should one investigate fail, I'm just going to evade him here, and that'll give us... it's kind of tempting, though, isn't it? So we're going to use evade. Evade attempt uses willpower instead of agility. Our willpower is 5. We'll go 6, 7. 8, 9. Yeah, 9. Chaos Bag says -3, so that's a -6. So that takes us down to 3v1, so we pass. We committed a Guts, so we get to draw a card. We get a Relentless Assault. So this guy is evaded. Now we're going to investigate. We're going to go discard Improvised Weapon for 2, Defiance for and then Prophecy. There's not 3 or more Doom in play, unfortunately. It's too bad. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, V3, and we're going to call Elder Thing. We get a -1, so we grab this clue. We don't get any other bonuses. We move back, and we flip this location with Veiled. We have 3 clues per investigator. We spend 3 clues, and we win. R1. Under the sea of pitch, a pit of fear grows in your chest as you gaze into the thick, dark water. This is the source. Whatever is below the surface of this sea, it holds the answer to everything that has transpired thus far in the waking world. Perhaps you can even find a way to save your friends, or perhaps the ocean will simply swallow you alive. You have no way of knowing for certain. You stand and take a final breath, clenching your fists tightly. Then you take a leap of faith. R1. Well, I think we got lucky there. We found Pikmin right away. Then we got through the Veil, which that's a tough test for us because we can't commit cards, but we had cornered again, so that got us through that. Then we lucked out and found the center of the sea on the first one, and then we just needed to grab 2 clues and win. So pretty lucky all round, I would say. And besides the Hunting Night Count, we didn't have to deal with that many enemies. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get to have the Ghoul army show up and kick some ass, but oh well. It would have been nice to see Richard Upman Pikmin and his Ghoul army take out the Hunting Night Gaunt or this Pitch Spider, but that is fine. So that is Point of No Return. That was a blind playthrough, and I think that was a very lucky playthrough. We hit the right locations that we needed to hit. We didn't run into too many enemies that we couldn't kill. And we finished it off. So let's tally up how we did. We didn't do amazing in the victory point, I don't think. Well, we did okay. I think we got just enough. So we got 1 there. 2, 3, 4, 4. That's all she wrote. 4. Okay, 4. Okay, well, 4 VP. That's not super. How many? We had 1. We had one VP left over from last game. No, we had 3. So we have 7 going into the final scenario. So that's nice. But I mean, this deck seems to be doing so well without VP. Like, Cornered is just so bloody good that I'm not too sure what I would swap out at this point. Like maybe Sixth Sense? But that's 4, so that would cost me... I've only got 7 to spend. So that's maybe Peter too. Yeah. So all in all, a successful playthrough. So that is point of no return. If you are a patron of the channel, I am going to be recording my my post-game show. So make sure, if you are a patron, you head over and check that out once it is uploaded. I'm going to just talk about both scenarios that I played here, Dark Side of the Moon and Point of No Return, and so check that out when you have the chance. Quick reminder, I'll be back this week with my preview of the Lair of Dagon Mythos pack, the 5th Mythos pack for the Innsmouth Conspiracy cycle. It's we've only got one more pack to reveal, and I will also have later this week a spoiler for Horror in High Gear, the 3rd Mythos pack in the cycle. And once we, now that we've wrapped up these two playthroughs, we will be heading on to Where Doom Awaits and Weaver of the Cosmos. Not Where Doom Awaits, Where the Gods Dwell and Weaver of the Cosmos. We'll play those, and then we're going to jump right into Innsmouth Conspiracy. We've got lots of stuff coming up here on the channel. I hope that you will stay tuned and enjoy it here. We've got it's the holiday season. Lots of time to record, so that's good for you guys. You guys will be getting a lot of content here coming up. And so thanks again, everyone. Thanks again to the patrons for their amazing support. You guys rock. And I will be back. Check out the Patreon postgame show and all the content coming up later this week. That's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed what you hear, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you need to contact me, I can be reached at manfromleng@gmail.com. I am also on Twitter at manfromleng. Until the stars are right, keep your shotgun close and your elder sign closer. Take care out there, and happy investigating.